Fucking what the fuck? This is John Cena's final match, your greatest fucking rival, and you're not even there? Fuck is you doing? Welcome to another episode of the Big Brothers of Destruction podcast. It's the Masaku, the demon that leaves your girl screaming at all times. But unfortunately, Swag Switch is not in the building. My man's not feeling too well. Funny enough, he actually came over here for the last episode, recorded, and then like the next day he got like really sick. And he been like sick for the past couple of days, still been working. And then finally went to an urgent care. Got him some meds. He's starting to feel a little bit better, but he was like, hey, man, you think you can run the pod by yourself or maybe get a guest in time? And I was like, last minute? Probably not. But, hey, the show must go on. And as we run our episodes at our usual time on Mondays, if not Tuesdays, I still feel the need to talk about the pay-per-view that just happened not too long ago, and that's Saturday night's main event. Man, when I tell you, I'm a little cross about this, right? As every wrestling fan has been talking about it, John Cena's final match has been a little bit of a bomb, okay? A little bit of a bomb. It has caused people to riot. It's caused people to have mixed feelings. And I'm going to go over the entirety of the pay-per-view and give you my feelings and my thoughts about it. But before we do that, I want to also talk about retirements in 2025. And, you know, there's been a lot. There's been a lot. And it's been really hard as a wrestling fan because, yes, some of these people, you've been growing up watching them, and as you're getting older, you're realizing they're also getting older, and they can't keep doing this forever. So when John Cena told us early this year, or I believe it was last year, this would be his retirement tour, and he was trying to actually do more than 36 dates. But WWE apparently said, no, we only want to book you for this many dates because, you know, it kind of F's up our storylines, I believe. I don't know what Hunter's, idea behind that was, but to me, it was stupid. The man wanted to go, let him go. It's his retirement, right? And we've got other people who are retiring this year, which is Hiro Tanahashi, and the Ace himself is doing his retirement. He's doing his retirement tour, and he's wrestling every night. He's wrestling every night. And I don't get how he can do that, but Cena could. I don't know. Japanese John Cena, go Ace, go Ace. He's having his retirement. JDC is having his retirement. Who else is also retiring? There's been a lot of people who have been retiring this year. And I feel like with John Cena's, I gotta admit it, after watching this pay-per-view, it is a flop. And it's also still done in a justifiable way, I guess. It's a real hard pill to swallow. It's a really hard pill to swallow because you're talking about a man who never gave up, who was always about hustle, loyalty, and respect. And a lot of that wasn't shown during this farewell tour. It came near at the end, but not a lot of it is in the farewell tour. And to give you more understanding, if it's your first time watching, if you've been under a rock, which I doubt you are, because if you're watching this, you obviously are more of a IWC type person. You probably saw the thumbnail and said, let me hear this guy's opinion. So really quick, let's just talk about how we got to this point with John Cena's retirement, right? And how we got to this match. So, John Cena returns and says, hey, man, I'm going to do a retirement tour, and I got this many dates, right? He joins the Royal Rumble, doesn't win. Jey Uso wins. And he says, all right, cool. Well, then let me do the Elimination Chamber. Maybe I can win that. Oh, doesn't win that. Okay. Now, because he doesn't win that, oh, actually, no, he won the Elimination Chamber. Excuse me. He won the Elimination Chamber. And this is when The Rock and Travis Scott get involved because The Rock has been trying to get Cody to sell his soul. But then all of a sudden, John Cena does a heel turn. A heel turn that at the time I thought it was the greatest thing ever. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was what wrestling needed at the time, right? We've been dying to see him do a heel turn. It's his last run. Let's go with it. Let's see what happens, right? Boy, was I wrong. I mean, we got a good couple of promos, but like no good wrestling. No, nothing good came from it because once the heel turn happened, The Rock and technically Travis Scott were out. They were like, well, we did our part, you know. The Rock personally said, I sold enough tickets for Survivor Series. Not Survivor Series, for the Elimination Chamber. And people got to come. So I did my part. You don't need The Rock anymore. And that really hurt that story. Because now, as we thought Cena sold his soul, well, what did he sell his soul for? Only to find out he was like, I'm ending my relationship with the fans. I'm ending my relationship. And it went on with that for a while. Then he did a cool thing where he was wearing the belt on the back. Like he was wearing it backwards instead of frontwards. You know, you got to do creative like things like that with the title to make it unique. But he was going with the moniker that he was going to be the last real champion. Last real champion. And a lot of people took a lot of gripe with that, especially once he lost the belt. But we didn't get to that part yet. So he has the title after he beats Cody at WrestleMania, and Travis Scott comes out because there's no Rock. John Cena goes on a run and defends the title against a couple of people. R-Truth, I believe, was Drew McIntyre. I don't think Drew McIntyre was one of them. Tells you how memorable this fucking tour was. But we know it's Cody Rhodes. We know it was Logan Paul and him teamed up. There's a couple of matches in general that we really didn't need. Because what we wanted to understand the story of why he turned heel. We never got that. So we kept getting these matches that we really didn't care about. Cena versus Cody won. Him versus R-Truth. You know, we did get one match that I liked, which was him winning the IC title versus Dominic Mysterio, but we haven't got there yet. We got a couple of title defenses from Cena, very lackluster because they all ended the same way, which was him using the belt, slapping somebody in the face with the belt. And then finally, we get a rematch with Cody and Cena where he loses the belt. But before the match happens, he actually turns face again because the heel turn at this point was really, really bad. It was really bad. You know, Orton tried to go against him. Cody was going against him. Again, R-Truth. So many different names, and nobody was able to take the belt off of him. Honestly, at one point, I was kind of excited because I was like, okay, are we doing like the Summer of Punk situation where Cena's holding the belt until he retires, and you have to retire the title and then make a new belt? I kind of wanted that. I don't know why. I felt like that would be very interesting. Whereas Swag, he kept telling me, bro, like none of it makes sense. That doesn't make sense. Why would we do that? Why would we do this? And a part of me was just like, man, I'm just here for the ride. Like, tell me, give me something, okay? Give me something to be hyped or excited about, because this heel turn is not it, broski. It's not it. So, as we continue on with this journey, after Cena loses the belt to Cody, we get very interesting matches. I say out of the bunch, the Dominic Mysterio and the AJ Styles one. The AJ Styles one was, I think, the best match out of this run. Mainly because it did what Cena was supposed to be doing during this one. Is playing back the greatest hits and going against opponents that were some of his best rivalries. I mean, yeah, him and Orton makes sense. Him and AJ makes sense. How the hell we didn't get a Cena versus The Miz? Why didn't we get, Cena versus Dolph Ziggler? Just legendary rivalries. You know what I'm saying? And like the people are there. You can make it happen. But Matt Cardona. Well, technically Zack Ryder, but just a lot of stuff, and they didn't do it. And come to find out, Triple H didn't even think about hitting up Tony Khan and say, "Hey, can we borrow Edge for like a day or two?" Like, Tony Khan understands Cena. He understands what he is for the business, and was like, they never even asked. If they probably would have asked, I probably would have been down because it's Cena. He said in an Ariel Helwani fucking interview, he said, "Yo, if Cena really wanted Edge, I maybe had negotiated something. Probably wouldn't have been that bad. Probably wouldn't have been that hard." But the ego that is WWE for some reason just, I guess, was like, well, I guess Edge, he went to the other side, so fuck him, I guess. But then, which is weird because I thought Mark Henry is also AEW, but he was at the pay-per-view. Or maybe he's not working for AEW anymore. I don't know that. Somebody tell me in the comments. But so as we get down to these matches that Cena's having, we get to the end where it is the last time is now tournament, which to me is the dumbest concept. And it took Swag Switcher explaining it, bro. It was like, all right, so you telling me this is a tournament to fight a guy in his final match, right? What do you gain from it? What is the huge value outside of going against Cena in his last match? Yes, that is an honor. That is a privilege. That's a thing. But like, a lot of the people that were in the tournament were people who are almost out the door themselves. Give this opportunity to a new talent, right? And Gunther's been in the ring. He's been in the industry for 15 years. He doesn't need this right now. Except the angle that they're trying to pull on Gunther is him being the legend killer. And how you gonna do that when you still got the legend killer in the roster? I don't know. But we got this last time is now tournament for people to become Cena's final opponent. And we kind of were already spoiled about this. If you're in the IWC, you was probably spoiled about this a little bit too early, but we all knew it was going to be Gunther, right? We all knew it was going to be Gunther, but we kind of hoped maybe something would happen. And, Hunter has this thing where he doesn't like it when the audience knows the booking, and he'll flip it just to fuck with us, right? But I think he might have took this quote from George R.R. Martin, where he was like, well, if you've been making a book and or story, and you know that the butler is the person who committed the crime or did the thing, you've been writing the story based on that, and then your audience is reading it over the internet, or talking about it, conversing over the internet about it, and they have already found out that before the next book come out or the next story comes out that the butler did it, but you said, I don't like the fact that they know that. I'm gonna flip the script on them and make it the janitor. You mess up the whole story. And I believe that Hunter probably took that advice of like, hey, we planned this. It's gonna be Gunther. No matter what, it was gonna be Gunther. So the tournament happens. We had a moment where it was like, oh shit, maybe it might be LA Knight, because the fans have been rallying for LA Knight. I feel like, man, LA Knight versus Cena would have been a way better match. Granted, again, LA Knight, he kind of hitting it on the age gap too. I think he's like 41. So again, not another talent who is fresh in the game. It's somebody who got some mileage on him, right? So for Gunther to be the opponent, We all knew it was going to happen. It's Gunther. You put him in the ring with somebody, he's going to destroy them. Except Jey Uso. Apparently he's going to tap out to him, which that to me, that still has tarnished his reputation as a heel, because he can't go anywhere without hearing the phrase, you tapped out. Because it's like, no matter how threatening or menacing you are, you tapped out. You tapped out. You did that. So, because Cena's dates are now limited to only 2 at this point, and I believe his last one was used before the actual pay-per-view. I don't think he was a part of any promotion of it at all, besides his appearance in the NXT Deadline series, where he was talking about the 5 he picked for the Deadline match, and to find out who was the Iron Survivor and everything. But no connection to Gunther. He had no interview with Gunther. He had no promo against Gunther. It's just Gunther just knew, hey, I'm going to go against Cena and this what I'm going to do to him. So, I would say the coolest thing that Cena has done during this process is, yes, for Saturday night's main event, we have upcoming talent going against the Now. All right. And the first match that they made or booked was Femi versus Cody freaking Rhodes. And that right there, that had me hooked. I was in for it. And I said, hey, if you're going to do it, Uba has to win. Femi has to win. And anybody that's watching the product knows that he had to win. It couldn't have been any other way. There shouldn't have been any other way. He has to win that match. And if he doesn't, we have a problem, right? And I think WWE knew that. Yeah, we can't book him to lose that match. We can't book Cody to lose that match either. And I called it last recording. I said, hey man, he has to win that match. But here's the thing. Some shenanigans have to happen to prevent the booking of this match. Similar to how they did with EO versus Stephanie Valkyrie. They had to do this. Oh, we're going to give you a little bit of the match, and then we're going to have an interference that causes it just so you can, like, I really want this. You almost gave it to me. I really want it. And they did that same shit in this fucking match. So, how does this match go, man? It's Cody comes out first, and then Uba comes out next. And Uba Femi looks like a freaking, he just looks like a monster, man. He looks like the destroyer. He looks like the ruler. And when he hits the pose, bro, I was like, oh man, this is it. I think Hunter's going to pull the trigger and give him this win. And as we go into the match, a lot of good's happening, man. Uba is getting good offense in. He's showing his power. Cody's giving that good baby face, emotion and drive. And Uba is getting most of the offense. And it looks good. It looks good. But you obviously know with moments like this, if the heel's getting most of the offense in, which technically, Uba is in that gray area, like Swag said. He's not a heel. He's not a face. He's just a guy. He's the ruler, right? So, but in this situation, he looks like a heel. He is whatever you need him to be in the moment, right? That is the aura of the ruler, right? He could be a face. He could be a heel. So as he's getting this offense in, and they spill outside the ring. Matter of fact, before we kind of get into that, I was noticing the chemistry was off with these two. I don't know if this is their first time actually touching the ring. I don't know if they had a conversation beforehand of like, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like, it just felt like a lot of times Cody would like either not be in place in time, and Uba Femi would be like, okay, perfect example. Say it's about to be like a clothesline, and I should be ducking for the clothesline. But like Cody's reaction will be like 10 times slower. So as Uba's bouncing off the ropes, and I know this is hypothetical, Uba will be bouncing off the ropes, and by the time Uba's arm is about to hit you, he suddenly just ducks, like really late, but he should have ducked like eons ago. And that was Cody the entire match. Cody, to me, either he fell off, or was he worried that Uba was a younger guy and new to the ring with him? I don't know, but a lot of that match, man, the chemistry was off. The chemistry was just not there. I was not liking it. It looked like it was going to be a lot of rookie mistakes. And we don't need to have Uba looks like he has a lot of rookie mistakes. There was a time where I think he did a power slam. And he was trying to go for the pin, but like Cody was selling it. But Cody was like moving in a way that Uba couldn't pin him. So the pin looked awkward. It was just like a lot of awkward moments. Even my wife, she's watching and she's like, do they ever rehearse this beforehand? Because this don't look rehearsed. And I was like, babe, they don't really rehearse the matches like that. That used to be an old thing a lot of times. Some people do rehearse matches. Some people do. Some people just go off the cuff. Some people like, all right, man, I'm going to do this, do that. Boom, boom, bam. Here's the spot. Beforehand, we just do whatever, right? This definitely looked like they didn't prepare for this. And that's just my feeling. That's even from my wife's feeling. And while she's a person who watches wrestling, she can watch it, understand the chemistry. She's not as super active as I am in it. But she, as a person who's watched wrestling well enough, could tell, yeah, something was off in that match. Something was off. So, as we get close to the end, excuse me, I take water. There's a part where they both spill outside the ring, and Cody, for some reason, he's sitting on the table as if he's like, hey, yo, here is the spot. And yes, he takes the advantage of the spot, hits him with I believe that would be hits him with the forearm. I think it was a forearm, and it causes Cody to bleed in his ear. The hit, he rushing forearmed him, or rushing shoulder. It looks like he might have hit Cody in the ear, made Cody bleed. As we get back in the ring, which, by the way, this also pissed me off. The ref wasn't even counting the whole freaking time, bro. I don't know what's going on with the refs nowadays. They just not counting. I know that's a nitpicky thing, but refs not counting is just telling me that, okay, these are really just spots. You're not doing your job. You're not doing your job. It even happens in the John Cena match. You're not doing your job. You're not counting. You are not counting. So we get back in the ring. Cody's starting to pick up his offense. He gets on top of Uba and starts doing a little bit of a ground pound. And then fucking Drew McIntyre comes out of nowhere. And I was just like, fucking called it. Like, any wrestling fan can call this shit. This was not about to be a straight, clean finish. You weren't about to get it. You were not going to get it. Okay? And that's the unfortunate side. You were not about to get that. And so at the end of this, as Drew interferes, Uba and Cody both start throwing offense on him. Right? Gets Drew out there. Drew takes powder. He's gone. And then Cody and Femi, they both raise their belts. Kind of in a show of respect. But in our reality, it was a waste of time. It was a nice little look. It was nice to see him in the ring with somebody like Cody. But like, if you're not going to go, to me, this is how I am as a fan. If you're not willing to pull the trigger on giving me a dub or something, don't even do it. Don't do it. I don't want to see it. Because you playing with me. You playing with me at this point. And no, there's only 4 matches in this pay-per-view. 4. And you know what? WWE also kept wanting to let you know, hey, there's 3 matches left until John Cena's final match. Hey, there's 2 matches left before John Cena's match. Hey, there's one more. It was so annoying. Like, we know the card. We know the card. There's no way else that nobody else doesn't know the card because you kept telling us the card in the beginning of the show and throughout the show. So why do you have to put up a prompt to let us know how many matches until John Cena's match? Did you think your audience was going to walk away because, I don't know, the card wasn't that exciting to them? Then maybe that's your fault, WWE. I don't know. So, we get to the second match, and at first, I was very against this match because at the time, I still don't know too much about her. But at the time, I didn't know too much about Ruca. I didn't know too much about her besides that she lost her titles because of an injury and had her partner defend said title and lose it. And speaking of which, that same partner was outside there with her and during this match too. So a lot of interesting stories at play. But Ruca versus Bayley. And to me, I was like, why is Bayley in this match? Yes, Bayley is the now, but like, she's not that popular currently to me. She's always going to be a phenomenal person. She's a phenomenal athlete. But in the current women's roster, she's not moving the needle like a Rhea Ripley, like a Stephanie Valkyrie, which that also didn't make sense to me. They're just saying that Stephanie Valkyrie is the future. Why is she not in a match with one of the people from the now, right? Why is she not in a match with those people? So is Stephanie Valkyrie the now? Y'all telling me she's the future, and this is supposed to be the future versus the now. I'm just saying that was a little nitpicky in me. Just a little nitpicky. But I was stunned and flabbergasted. I'm gonna shut the fuck up when it comes to Ruca, because boy, that girl can go. That girl can go. And everybody's been talking about her move, the Soul Snatcher, and I've seen it. I'm aware of it. But it took this match with Bayley to see, outside of getting into wrestling, she was in acrobatics, and she actually wanted to be a stunt double. She was like, hey, man, this is the only thing else I could do. And then somehow she got into wrestling. And all those skills of acrobatics and gymnastics and all that kind of stuff really plays a role into her wrestling style. So when we're seeing these cartwheels, we're seeing these backflips, we're seeing these handstands, we're seeing all these things. There's a point where I forget the move. It's a heel toe spin move where she reversed Bayley, goes on her hands, backs up, grabs her by the head with her feet, and then does the spin. Heel toes, I want to say heel toe spin, something like that. But you could see her acrobatics, and you could see her control. Her control in what she does is so good, right? It's so good. And I could give Bayley this credit. Bayley was a good opponent for her, but I still feel like, the decision behind this, and this might be a little controversial, I feel like the decision behind this came because John Cena came to her training thing and was there for 8 hours, right? And maybe they might be cool friends outside of this too. But like, I feel like there's so many more people. And plus Bayley, there's so many other people that could have been the now person, because Bayley hasn't really been on TV doing anything for the last couple of weeks. It's literally been the Rhea Io show, the freaking Kabuki Warriors, and we also have the not best friends. Like, even Judgment Day people are having so much more stuff going on. Bayley hasn't been doing anything, and you chose her. I was confused. And then two, I thought the whole dynamic in wrestling is always supposed to be good versus evil. Bayley's character is not even technically evil right now. She's not even a heel. She's going through a crisis, a psychological crisis, and nothing heelish is happening. Plus, she has Valkyrie with her, which Valkyrie is supposed to be a face. So, like, make it make sense to me. I don't know. But match was good. Match was good. I'll give it credit where credit is due. The ladies did do good. The ladies did great. A lot of people are really iffy on the finish. I'll tell you how I feel about the finish. As Ruca is, she's doing all her acrobats and showing off those skills. She goes for a Soul Snatcher. It gets reversed, and Bayley does a Rosebud. And that's her signature, by the way, Bayley's signature. And she goes for the 1-2, kicks out at 2. And there's a sequence that begins, and then somehow in that sequence, Ruca hits her with the Soul Snatcher, and that shit was clean. Goes for the pin, 1-2, kick out, roll reverse, Bayley on top, going for the pin, 1-2, roll reverse, 1-2-3, boom. Ruca wins. Now, it kind of felt like you should have just let her win with the move because the crowd is already hyped. Like, imagine this is the meter, and this is the highest the meter can get, right? As Ruca hits her with the Soul Snatcher, the meter is here. The minute you get the reverse pin, it was like, the crowd is there, but the crowd would have been there so much if you hit the Soul Snatcher and the 1, 2, 3, the crowd would have popped for that. It would have been a good moment. But the roll pin, that ain't it, y'all. I mean, the right person won. I do believe Ruca should have won. But that's just me. Congratulations to both women. It's a great match. I would definitely say second contender for best match of the night. They all give their salute to John Cena. We roll to the commercials. By the way, how did y'all feel about these commercials? There was so many fucking commercials during this damn thing. So many commercials. Ridiculous. Going into the third match. By the way, since, WWE keeps reminding you there's 2 matches left till John Cena's final match. And boy, was I super excited about this third match. I was so excited. We got AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus the Young OGs, Javon Evans and Leon Slater. This match alone, as me and Swag were watching the pay-per-view, we're talking to each other. We're messaging each other. We're voicing our opinions about everything. And there was a point where I did mention, I said, I don't like how there's no build to any of these matches. And Swag said, I guess you might as well not even watch this pay-per-view because none of them have build. None of them have anything. They are simply just name alone. Name alone is what draws these matches. And I'll admit, that tag match was the match that drew me in. I said WWE is going to get the chance to see Javon Evans and Leon Slater in the ring going bonanza. Going bananas. Going crazy. Going insane in the ring. And they didn't disappoint because as the match started, the boys immediately attacked both AJ and Dragon Lee, hitting them with offense, both hitting with super kicks. And I remember this match step by step. Hitting them both with super kicks. Javon gets AJ and Dragon Lee by hitting a springboard, jumps outside the ring, tope Cena, whatever you want to call it. Jumps over, hits both of them. And then as Dragon Lee moves to the right, moves away, Leon does his specific spot where he likes jumping over the turnbuckle outside the ring. And I love that spot, but it was crazy how you did it in the beginning of the match. Crazy. So we get both of them hitting their outside the ring moves. They bring Dragon in the ring. They hit him with a couple of more moves. And then they both hit what seems like a group signature. And you get a 1, 2, and a kick out. And people are saying, and this is me, the Young OGs should have won. Right? And we're not done with the match yet. But at that point, you couldn't really do that because you kind of hurt AJ and Dragon as champions. Because if they get knocked out by a couple of small offense like that, what does that say about their credibility as tag champs? But as the match continues on, AJ and Dragon Lee pick things back up. There's a point where Dragon Lee takes out Javon Evans, and it's just AJ Styles and Leon Slater in the ring. The X Division champion, by the way. Knowing AJ Styles' history in the X Division, if you do not book this match during their retirement tour, unfortunately, AJ Styles will not be able to go the way he did. But could you imagine a young AJ Styles versus a Leon Slater? Ooh. Comment section, please tell me your thoughts. Please tell me your thoughts. How would you feel if you got to see 2010 AJ Styles versus Leon Slater now? That would be an insane match. Him versus even Javon Evans sounds crazy, right? But we get this right now in real time. And as the match still goes on, there is a part where the spot doesn't make sense. Leon doesn't even do a move like this. He gets on the top rope. Looks like he's going for a jumping drop kick. But no, AJ reverses it. He hits his back. Puts him into the style clash. 1, 2, 3. Very short match. And I'm really upset about that. The match, I think, was no more than 10 minutes. It was really quick. It was that moment of the quick offense. Switch it up. They're back in the ring. It's Leon and AJ. Reverse pin. That was it. And I wanted more. I really wanted more. I wanted more because I feel like it could have been a real barn burner. Real barn burner. Real slobber knocker, if you want to call it. But no. But also, we only got one more match until John Cena's retirement. And the next one is just that. It's the retirement. But a great job, Javon Evans. And also, Leon Slater, congrats to you. You had a tough decision this weekend, too. And for those who do not know, in the IWC, Leon Slater was booked for another event that was, they were building a story off of him being in a triple threat match for a title. And as John Cena's final match came up, WWE said, hey, we have an opportunity to having you team up with Javon Evans in John Cena's final match pay-per-view, right, in Saturday Night's Main Event. And granted, he already had obligations. He already had bookings with this place. They've been making a story for him and doing all this stuff. So technically, he is still obligated to do that booking. But the booker said, hey, yo, it's fucking John Cena. You're in front of WWE. All eyes are on you right now. We cannot get mad at you for not going there. And so I believe with their blessing, they dropped him from the card and he was able to go out there to do that match. Which again, it's fucking John Cena's final match. It's Saturday Night's Main Event. And granted, the promotion is in your home. country. Who am I to tell you you didn't make the right decision? You made the right decision. It's unfortunate. It was a decision that may have hurt potentially the company. I don't think it would hurt them that much. It's a story that, yeah, maybe you could brought him back in or something like that. But it's fucking John Cena, bro. What do you want to do? Okay. So, oh boy, this match. Let me tell y'all what I was feeling when this match was starting to happen. I was saying this months ago. Well, it was months ago where I said, man, when we finally get to that John Cena match, my nigga, I might cry. I might cry at the end of it because it's finally removing a chapter of my life that I probably won't see Cena in the ring again. And I remember during the farewell tour, I wanted to make sure I can go into one more arena where I could finally hear that damn theme song again. But WWE's tickets were making it very difficult. So, as I went into this match, I said, all right, this is the last time I'm going to see Cena. And you know what WWE could do to maybe fix this shit? You fix this, have John go out first, right? So that way he could look down Gunther as Gunther comes to the ring so he could see his final opponent. But wait, backstage, you suddenly see Gunther is locked in a room. He can't get out of his locker room. It's like booby trapped or something like that. Like a chair is in the way and nobody can get it off, right? Or it's locked with the chair, but nobody sees it but the cameraman, right? And then Cena's looking at the screen like, well, can somebody... All of a sudden you hear, you think you know me. Da, 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 da. And it is this Edge coming out to the fucking ring, and the whole building would explode. Okay, the whole building. I think the roof would come off that bitch if Edge would have came out there and truly been his final opponent, because Edge is the one that took so much from Cena. Cena, New Year's resolution, winning an Elimination Chamber match. And for Edge to go out there and be the first person to cash in on somebody. And no, he's cashed in on his ass multiple times. Okay? Who better to go against an Edge? And yes, some people be saying, yo, the tournament would have been for nothing. Hey, look, it's fucking Edge versus Cena. Would you have complained about that match? I don't think so. I think you'd have been there for the ride. I think you'd have been perfectly satisfied to see Edge come out there than Gunther. I think you'd have been extremely happy. And I think Cena, if they never told Cena, like imagine Cena's face as he's looking at the screen like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden, you think you know me. And you see Cena go, like, could you just imagine? He would even be shocked. He even would be shocked. And for them to just go and just hearing the crowd, I'm telling you, that bullshit ass noise meter they be popping up, the roof, it would have had to be in a stadium because that roof would have came off. I'm trying to tell you, the roof would have been gone. But unfortunately, we didn't get that. But what we got was Gunther came out first. So once I saw that, I said, oh, okay. I guess we're not going to get that. A man can wish, a man can dream. And then John Cena comes out there. And then John Cena's entrance was really... John really did give a heartfelt feeling. The man didn't cry. The man didn't have no emotion. The man was just John. And you would think maybe a little bit of emotion would come out of John in this moment. And no, he grabs the camera. He wants to get Stu. I thought he was gonna have Stu run to the ring and he hold the camera. I'm just, again at this point as a wrestling fan, I'm just hoping for fun shit. It's the final match, okay? I'm hoping for fun shit. I'm hoping for fun shit where he says, "Yo, Stu, you're Cena right now, okay? Run down to the ring, go in there, and then throw the hat and do the now do this." That'd be a fun moment, okay? I'm sorry. I know it's stupid, maybe. But a guy can dream, right? You want something fun to happen out of this because the match itself, Gunther and Cena, on paper, in any other scenario, would be a good match. But because you know this is the final match, this is the last time you will see Cena in that ring. I didn't want it to be it. I did not want that match to be it. So going into it, I was just like, man, let's just get this over with. Let's get this over with. Because you were not going to tell me a story. And at first, they started telling us a story. Cena comes in. He's not really used to Gunther's offense. But also, you could tell the age that Cena's already checked out. These 30, I think it was 36 days, he was already checked out this final match. I couldn't see much of a light in him and having fun and doing what he does. This is a job. And then he did do a couple of call outs to be like, all right, this is my last time doing it. Like, I didn't like that. Like, this is the last time. You better do it one last time because it's the last one. I didn't like that. He did that for like a bunch of spots, especially the 5-knuckle shuffle one. But like I said before, Gunther's getting offense. He's I was about to say I can't remember his name, Stewart and New Japan. He is inserted the key in the hole. It's like that shit was paused. But Gunther's getting his offense in, he's doing his thing. Cena is just getting his ass kicked until there's a pivotal moment where Gunther says, hey, I'm going to get some still steps. I'm going to bring it by the announcement table. I'm going to put Cena through that table. Now, note, Cena's outside the ring. Gunther's outside the ring. The ref is not even fucking counting. It's not even counting. Not even counting. And I don't know if it's because, oh, it's Cena, I got to be more lenient on this match. No, you're not fucking counting, bro. Count the match. Do what you're supposed to do. I'm a little nitpicky. I'm sorry, all right? But as the rules are in wrestling and as a wrestling fan, if you set up the prop, bitch, you going through it. So Gunther gets Cena in there. He's getting ready to powerbomb. But Cena reverses. Cena AAs Gunther through the announcement table. Okay, some life is now back in the match. Cena's now getting the offense. And it felt like Cena would get offense and then Gunther would shut it down immediately. Gain offense, shut it down immediately. And me and Swag have already made Swag has made the notion that the AA is no more than a transitional move. Because how do you hit a man with an AA on the announcement table, going by the laws of physics in wrestling? Being put through a table does double damage, okay? Gets in the ring, tries to get a pin, gets a 2 count. Even gets to a point where Gunther sets himself up for a avalanche AA. Which that also supposed to mean, oh, it's elevated? Double damage. And you telling me he's still kicked out? Then hits him with another AA. Gunther kicks out again. But here's the difference between this kick out. Gunther locks in a rare naked choke. Now, I didn't mention this, but then there's a point in the match where Gunther is locking Cena in a rare naked choke, which what feels like is 10 fucking minutes, bro. The energy picks up. It's live. Cena just did his final 5-knuckle shuffle, and it was reversed, by the way. How you gonna do another 5-knuckle shuffle and it gets reversed? I don't know. It's supposed to be the final one. Oh. God. Anyway, every time Cena makes offense, it gets shut down. And again, he's finally in this rare naked choke. And the rare naked choke is about a 10-minute long cycle of Cena fighting, getting himself back up, breaking out of it, getting put back in it. Fighting, gets up, breaks out of it, gets put back in it again. And to the point where the referee even goes back to the old 90s trope, which you don't see it nowadays. You see somebody pass out from a chokehold, they call the bell. But back in the day, they used to do this thing. If the person's out, they'll grab the arm, let it drop. Grab the arm, let it drop. And after the third time, Cena even pulls this up. Pulls up the logo and everything. Or the sign. And so that point, the wrestling fan who's there to see Cena win, by the way, because we wanted to see Cena win, he breaks out only to be put back. He's getting ready to be put back into it. And Gunther goes from elbow, locks in the rear naked again. And Cena looks like he's fighting. Only to smile and simply go, taps out. Little golf man clap tap, by the way. Just, I'm done, partner. And you can hear the gasp through the entire arena. I even was at home. I'm watching it with my wife, and my wife was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck? How do you end this match like that? And the apparently the goal in mind was Cena has not tapped out from a submission in 20 years. If he has lost from a submission, it is from being passed out or blacked out. And you finally have the moment from the man who never gave up to him finally giving up. In this moment, from my personal opinion, I wanted to turn the TV off. I was infuriated. I was upset in the moment because, if anything, if you are going to do the finish, it needs to be in a way where the audience feels the heartbreak of it happening. Like if Gunther hits the powerbomb after Cena, he like, say if Cena was trying to hit the AA, but he just has no energy left. He's still fighting. He has no energy left. He's trying. And then somehow Gunther just hits him with the offense. He hits with a clothesline. He hits him with his signature. And then finally hits the powerbomb, the boom. And then it's just 1, 2, 3. You get the shock, I believe, the shock reveal similar to how Undertaker lost the streak. Because when you look at that audience for when he tapped out, the audience was at awe because it was like, what the fuck? Are you stupid? How are you going to have Cena lose like this? And again, Cena was doing what was right for the business. Hunter even said it himself. Paul Levesque said it himself. And when he made the statement later on in the post media scrum, well, not post media scrum, it was just after, it was post show. He stated that Cena wanted to do what was right for the business because he's a big advocate of doing by the book in the business, right? And he was like, hey, if you're going to do this, he's going to go out and make sure the talent that he's going against is going to take the win. He gets pinned. He gets out of here. Okay. How about Taker? All right. Taker beat the hell out of AJ Styles. Technically killed AJ Styles. And that was supposed to be his final match. He won that. Sting won his match, made the talent still look good. AJ still looks good. And then now you got the Ace. The Ace is going to go over or go against Okada. And I think Okada's winning that. That one, Okada, I think he's winning that. I don't think Ace is winning that. His knees ain't ready for that. But I do understand in the business that you're supposed to give back to the business by making a better talent the future do that similar thing. It's taking the win, elevating them, and doing right by that. That is technically the way. That is technically the way. But to me, and I think every fan that was watching this, we didn't want Cena to be one of those to do that shit. We wanted Cena to hit that last AA, get the 1, 2, 3. The audience is excited. It's a go home feel. And everybody can be happy. And then everybody can say, thank you, Cena. Thank you, Cena. Because it's that one last time you get to see Super Cena. It's the last time you got to see Super Cena. Everybody that came to that event, I believe, wore John Cena, some form of John Cena merch. There wasn't any John Cena merch that was not in that building, I don't think, as in the audience. Even green shirt guy wore the neon green John Cena shirt. He even was in character. So everybody was there to see John Cena win. At least give us that. If you're going to do anything, give us that. But no. You gave us a moment where Gunther makes him tap out. And by the way, Gunther is apparently getting so much heat for this. They apparently almost caused a riot. He almost caused a riot. Gunther had to be escorted out by security to his vehicle. Almost like it was the territorial days. It was crazy. Social media is going insane about it. People disliking the actual match video. Has over 20,000 dislikes currently. And while Jey Uso still earns the most disliked video currently, I believe, in WWE history. I think he is the most disliked one. This is definitely going to be a small contender for the most disliked, because for the casual wrestling fan who may have not, for the casual fan that was able to watch this, probably hit dislike. The current wrestling fan, the person in the IWC who is also watching this, definitely click that. But now, say you get some people who didn't even know Cena's final match happened, and they just want to see how it ends. And now they get to watch it. And they probably gonna hit that dislike. So, it's speculated that John Cena's loss will probably be the most disliked video in WWE history, because fans didn't want that. Granted, Cena may have wanted that, but Cena always said this quote to Cody, and Cody said it in the fucking show. Listen to your audience. If you listen to them, you will do no wrong. Cena, tell me, am I wrong? You said that to him. Cody said that shit. You didn't listen to your audience. Even though it was for the business, you didn't listen to your audience. Paul Levesque, he's also the booker. So even if Cena says, yo, actually, I'm just going to tap out the Gunther. Hey, Cena, I don't think that's a good idea. I think thousands of people have paid thousands of dollars, if not more, to buy that little goofy ass spinner belt that we just made for you. It's probably $100. All these shirts from every town that we went to, they've been spending a lot of money. And I think you probably should go over, just so people can have a good home, good going away feeling about everything. But no, the finish was so hated that the audience was divided, right? You don't want to boo Cena, but you want to boo what the fuck just happened. And so at some point, the audience is saying, bullshit, bullshit. Gunther's already out the ring. It's just Cena there now. And the whole locker room comes out there. And by the way, when the whole locker room comes out there, where the fuck is Randy Orton, bro? Randy Orton nowhere in sight this entire event. Okay? Come to find out, that motherfucker's in Saudi Arabia. Advertising the Royal Rumble. What other advertisement does it need? It's the Royal Rumble. You slap that in front of a wrestling fan. We're there. Fucking other. What the fuck? This is John Cena's final match, your greatest fucking rival, and you're not even there? Fuck is you doing? Fuck is you doing? Who booked that? Slap that bitch in the face. Out of all people, you made Randy Orton go to Saudi Arabia while John Cena's final fucking match is happening? Anyway. The audience is so divided. They want to boo, but they can't boo Cena because it's Cena. You don't want to boo Cena right now. You want to give Cena his praise because you want to thank him. But boy, when Paul the Vet got on that rope, boo. All he heard was boo. All he heard was boos for the rest of the night. Anything that involved Paul the Vet was raining with boos. Even when he did the post show, it was boos. Then people screaming AEW, which I want to hear Swag's opinion on that one. I'm fucking saying AEW over WWE is crazy. But it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was not good. Cena finally takes off his shoes. Somebody said his Skechers. So homie took off his shoes. He's wearing his "You Can't See Me" socks. Seems very childish, but hey, it's your merch. Takes off his wristbands, his armbands. And before he leaves, excuse me, I forgot to mention this. Cody and CM Punk come in the ring and give him both titles, and he raises them to the audiences so they can get shouts and yays. But what the fuck does that do? You lost. You're gone. So what? You're holding these belts. Are you doing it because you're the last world champion? No, like, what the fuck was the point? Maybe the visual, maybe the photo, I don't know. So then, as Cena takes off all his gear, outside of his jeggings, which the audience was laughing and saying, yo, take off the jeggings. Take off the shorts, because he did say he won't be wearing those anymore. So, might as well take off all the gear. Cena goes to the ramp and says, thank you for allowing me to serve you. And he's gone. No speech, no nothing. Just a little video package that they made him watch. And that included Vince McMahon in it, by the way. But nothing. No words, no nothing. Cena goes out there, salutes, gets the fuck out of there. Terrible way to end your farewell tour. So I want to say I'm so mixed for emotions right now. Like I'm frustrated, but you want to see that person happy. Does that make sense? Cena, you got done dirty. I think you might need to go get Bryan Danielson's number, call Tony Khan and tell him, hey, I need to join just so I can get a better retirement. Because we know Tony Khan will do right. Because he gave Sting the best retirement in the world. Sting's retirement is the best. It's hands down the best retirement. Before, it could have been Ric Flair, but Ric Flair had to fuck it up, go to TNA wrestle, go to this promotion wrestle. He just could not stop wrestling, and he didn't need to. So, I low-key feel for Cena. Maybe this was what... Maybe... Here's the thing, too, as a wrestling fan. Maybe because we're overreacting, because it's stuff that we wanted in this situation, but maybe this was stuff that Cena might have been satisfied with. Maybe Cena was satisfied that his final match was with Gunther. Maybe he was satisfied by getting choked out and suddenly smiling, and maybe that's what he wanted. And at the end of the day, for a man who's been giving his body to the industry for 23 years, really wish he could have did 2 more just so he could get that 25 mark. 25 years in wrestling. You're almost Undertaker at that point, my nigga. You was almost there. Almost there, my nigga. And you've been giving your body to this industry for 23 years. You technically deserve the way you want to end your own career. We just, as wrestling fans, wished so much more for you. We wish you could have had so much fun with it. We wish you could have had some of the best storylines. Hell, the heel turn, I feel like would have been heel turn of the century if The Rock was not out and we got real good explanations why X, Y, and Z happened. So, again, before this actual match, fans got to say things to Cena via live mic at events. Unfortunately, I don't have a live mic. I have a live mic, but I wasn't there when it happened never got the chance to. So I feel like I can say my piece after watching this pay-per-view and watching Cena's final match and giving my opinion on how I feel about it. Cena, I was a big fan of yours. I'm still a big fan. I've been a fan for years. Man, this is on the spot too. So, Cena, I've been a fan of yours for years, and so many times that I rooted for you because, yes, you were Superman to me. Man, you hustle, loyalty, respect, doctor of thugonomics. Just you were so charismatic that any person would want to be you. But then there's reasons why people want to be with you. You are one of the reasons why I treat people with so much kindness that I do. There are so many stories about you, Cena, as a human being that I value more than you as a wrestler. You know, I wish I would have the ability to do cool stuff like grant so many Make-A-Wish events for kids and giving back to the talent, just being a beacon of light to people in general. That is the one thing in my life I wish I could do. And if I had your ability, I would love doing that every day too. There was a recent signing where, man, you see that line and Cena is taking photos and signing for every one of those people. So, me talking now, I'm not really talking about Cena as the wrestler. I'm talking Cena as the human. You, to my knowledge, and this is because I never met you, never had a true experience, but from what I've seen, you have been a beacon of positivity and wanting to do right by people, giving people that sense of care, that sense of time, that need to make them feel seen when you're the most well-known person in the room and you come in and you treat them as if you already still know them. That's a unique gift to have, of care to give to other people. And I've thrived to make sure that in my life, in any interaction with a person, I try to treat them as if I've known them for years. And I have my little catchphrases and stuff like that. But I want to say thank you for being a a role model for positivity, a role model for the moniker hustle, loyalty, respect. Because, yes, as a wrestler, you've done great things. We know that. That's why everybody's calling you the GOAT. All right. But I don't think a lot of people talk about you as a human. And, as a human, you are flawed. As a human, you have moments of weakness. As a human, you're going to have moments where you're not the best person in the room, best person in the world. You're not feeling the best. You're not doing the best. And sometimes you may not make the best decisions. But you always put people first. So see, this the biggest it's the kindest thing that any person can do. And I want to say thank you for being a role model for that. Because I feel like the world needs more of that. We need more people who are willing to do so many charitable acts. But as a wrestling fan, man, Dr. Thugonomics, obviously the best gimmick for me. I used to love your raps. Used to love what you do. Super Cena, man. While I was the only person in the group that was a Super Cena fan, and I used to get picked on, man. I used to get picked on by being your fan. Did I care? No, because Cena won. Cena was overcoming the odds every time. And I was here for it. So, thank you for being who you are in the ring. Thank you for being the person I could always look back at a match and say, that's big match, John. Right? I'm definitely going to be watching some retro matches after this. But off the fly, by the way, this is off the dome. I didn't have nothing prepared, so it's kind of rambly. But thank you for everything you've done in the industry. Couldn't have had a better person who do it. And all the things you've done as a human. Also, thank you so much for that. So, guys, what are your thoughts about this pay-per-view? I mean, we got a false finish. We got a new up-and-comer winning. And we have the tag team champions winning. And we have Cena losing via tap out. Please let me know in the comments, how did you feel about Gunther winning? How did you feel about this pay-per-view? How did you feel about John Cena's final match? I would love to hear Swag's opinions, and I know when he's back next week, he's going to give his opinion on the whole John Cena retirement tour as well. And I know it's going to be a bar burner as well. But, man, it's finally over. We just all watched John Cena's final match. And where do we go from here? Does Gunther go back on Raw Monday and brag about it and get the heel heat that Dominic Mysterio has? Who knows? But definitely right now, Gunther is probably the most disliked person in wrestling right now. And not like as a human, but as a character. Like, everybody's hating on him right now. So, again, because Swag Switch is not here, like I said before, next week we'll have him here, and hopefully we'll have one of our episodes recorded soon, as we're going to go over the archetypes. I like to say archetypes of wrestling. Okay? So, again, let me know what your thoughts about the pay-per-view. How did you feel about John Cena's match? Please let me know in the comments. And also, as well, if you enjoy the content, please choke slam the like button and tombstone the subscribe button. As this is the demon that's always leaving your girl screaming, the Masaku. And remember that the ring is sacred. The questions are real. The destruction is guaranteed. Till next time, guys.